When we talk about the First Amendment, most people, rightly, think of free speech. But tucked right beside it is something perhaps just as powerful, and that is the freedom of the press. Now, the right of the press wasn't really an afterthought. It was actually forged in anger, fear, and hard experience. Now, in the colonial era, printing the wrong thing could land you in jail. British authorities tightly controlled newspapers and pamphlets using licensing laws and prosecutions to silence critics. I mean, even Ben Franklin's family wasn't immune to this danger. Of course, early on, Ben wasn't the Ben we all came to know and love. In 1722, Ben's older brother, Boston newspaper publisher James Franklin, well, he learned just how dangerous printing could be. Franklin ran the New England Courant, a paper that criticized colonial leaders and mocked religious authorities. But the government, understandably, didn't like this, and James Franklin, well, he was arrested and thrown in jail. Now, one of the most famous early cases involved a New York printer by the name of John Peter Zenger, and this was in 1735 when he was jailed for publishing criticism of New York's royal governor. Now, though the truth wasn't actually a legal defense, a jury acquitted him anyway, and the case became a major foundation for later First Amendment press protections. Now, when the founders wrote the First Amendment, they didn't define the press narrowly. They didn't mean only large newspapers or elite publishers. In fact, in the 18th century, the press was really anyone with a printing press and the courage to use it. I mean, the core idea was relatively simple. Democracy cannot survive if the public only hears what the government approves. Makes sense. So today, the technology has certainly changed, but the principle hasn't. The Supreme Court has repeatedly emphasized that press freedom exists to protect the flow of information, especially information that is perhaps uncomfortable, critical, or even inconvenient to those in power. And that protection matters more than ever. A free press exposes corruption, documents abuses, verifies facts, and preserves historical memory. But press freedom isn't about liking what's published. It's about tolerating scrutiny. It's about understanding that accountability is not an attack, it's a safeguard. The right of the press exists because the founders understood a hard truth. Government will always prefer silence to criticism. The First Amendment ensures it doesn't get that choice. And by the way, if you've enjoyed this video, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Thanks.